Bougeons, chatoignez-moi là. Purée, il est de plus en plus fort.
Les joies du cyclone.
Oh! La bagnole, la bagnole, la bagnole! Allez hop!
On va se faire submerger les gars. Viens, viens. Putain, fais comment là? Les voitures. Caro.
Jamais. Mais non, défonce pas ça. Là, les boules, là, laisse comme ça. Ouais, c'est après les boules, la calmer après. Non, mais là, on va calmer après. Sûr? Oui.
The storm pummeled Western Europe with hurricane-like force. Here, the wind rips a roof off of a building in the Netherlands and peels off the side of a house. Severe weather alerts were issued in the Netherlands as gale-force winds reached 140 kilometers an hour. People were urged to stay home for their own safety. Those who did venture outdoors were struggling to keep their feet on the ground. But it didn't deter this daredevil, who saw the high winds as an opportunity to go for the ultimate kitesurfing experience. The storm is causing travel chaos. Hundreds of flights were grounded, and in Germany, all long-distance rail services were suspended.
There is a danger that trees will fall onto the overhead wires, and there's a danger that trees will block routes. We know from past experience with extreme weather conditions that it's better to keep the trains inside stations where we can better take care of passengers than in between stations.
Power outages hit tens of thousands of people in Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands, and roads were blocked by fallen trees and debris. High wind and heavy snow also hit parts of the UK. Scotland is dealing with power outages and dangerously icy roads. But the storm isn't losing strength. It's moving across the continent with Eastern Europe in its sights. Catherine Stansel, Al Jazeera.
Storm Friederike's passage across Europe has caused havoc and presented a special challenge for pilots landing at Düsseldorf airport. With winds of over 200 kilometres an hour, at least 9 people have died, including 5 in Germany, as powerful winds toppled trees, blew trucks off the road and forced the cancellation of hundreds of flights. In the west of the country, 41 people were injured in weather-related traffic accidents. The storm has now swept across Poland, leaving 2 injured and tens of thousands of residents without power. In the hardest hit areas of South Poland, wind speeds topped 100 kilometres an hour and snow-covered roads triggered many traffic accidents. Drivers in Scotland have been urged to avoid travelling unless absolutely necessary in some areas as high winds and snow hit the UK, causing chaos across transport networks. Dozens of schools have been closed and public transport disrupted by the weather.
Storm Georgina is hitting the UK today, bringing violent winds across parts of northern Scotland, gusty conditions and heavy downpours across other parts of the UK. Now, the storm itself formed from this area of cloud out in the Atlantic during Tuesday. It doesn't look much here, but as we run through the sequence on the satellite picture, you can see the swirl of cloud developing, and actually it intensified very rapidly, this storm, so much so that it's what's classed as a weather bomb. That's where it drops by at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. And it's that rapid intensification which really squeezes the isobars together and causes the strongest winds, which is why Western Scotland has seen the strongest winds so far, where those isobars are really pinching together. We got a gust of over 80 miles an hour in the Outer Hebrides earlier on today.
우리가 높은 그 영향을 하고 그렇게 좋아했다. 사건 그대로 뭐 앞에 같은 게 얼마나 되고
Russians are used to snow and cold, but not this cold. The temperature in a Siberian village dropped to negative 67 degrees Celsius. So cold, the village's eyelashes froze and thermometers broke. People had to keep their cars running or they will not restart ever. And about 500 people live in the village considered the coldest inhabited place.
Allah bye-bye. Boleh kasih berhenti.
Kuya, tingnan mo yung doon banda.
Parah nih, parah nih. Banjir nih, banjir.
Tuh, yang malam na bu, jangan malas itu kalau masuk tuh, malas. Nih yang terparah nih sepanjang sejarah nih, adanya air awan.
Itu you. Oh, motor kakak lalu kau kena lah cik oi. Ya lalu yang awak. Tak boleh lah, seluruh kita mampu je kita tahu. Hanyut ke motor dia tu. Kita pun beli dia hanyut ni tahu. Anjir. Pulau mu. Oh, dah satu tu. Hanyut betul nampak. Betul motor tu ha. Tolong baru ha. Habis hanyut betul nampak. Alamak, sianya kau.
With bone-dry rivers and in the grip of the worst drought in a century, rationing may have come too late to save the South African city of Cape Town, which may run out of water by April the 12th. The worst of the countrywide drought induced by El Nino ended with the summer rains, but the Cape gets most of its rainfall in winter, and forecasts give no guarantees the rains will be on time. Rationed consumption currently is at 87 litres per person per day, and standpipes are springing up on street corners. Consumption will be cut to 50 litres per day on February the 1st, and what the authorities are calling Day Zero will see all other piped water cease in early April. There are already fears installed standpipes will not be able to cope.
Sydney's Royal National Park is burning. Emergency services in the state of New South Wales, Australia, are escorting 200 people to safety as two fires raged south of Sydney on Saturday. An emergency warning is in place as multiple crews and a water bomber battle the fires near Bundina.
The only thing you could see is smoke. It was very dense and it's a lot of smoke. So we didn't know exactly what's going on and how far it would be from where we were, but there was a lot of smoke.
The Rural Fire Service had earlier alerted visitors in the area as the blaze threatened the main access road to a popular tourist spot called Wedding Cake Rock. The Bureau of Meteorology issued further fire warnings as a heatwave moves easterly and temperatures hover around the 40 Celsius mark.
So the provisional figure for the global average near surface temperature for 2017 comes in just under a degree. Now we're talking here baseline pre-industrial levels, which is around 1850 to 1900. So this figure is significant, and it's significant because it means it's one of 3 of the warmest years on record. Records go back to 1850. 2015 and 2016 being warmer, but these 2 years had the added influence and added heat of El Nino, which adds on perhaps about a 0.2 of a degree. So taking away that influence, 2017 sits alone as the warmest year on record without the influence of El Nino.